Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and please welcome Akela B24. Hi, Akela.
Hi, Jean. Good morning, everyone.
It's so nice to have you back, and it's so nice. Our early Sunday mornings. There's not a lot of people that like to get up early and enjoy the day. But I once I meet another early riser, I love hanging out together. I'm very much a morning person, and I see a lot of other morning people. And Miss Unicorn is here, Mary and Brenda T. Imagine you're a morning person too. Evelyn DeMangelis, and so nice to see everybody. So, what is how was your July, and do you have any plans coming up for August?
Jean, I wish I could say I have plans coming up. My life right now is wrapped around my girls. Because as you know, they chill. And when school went on break, we got a week off. And ever since then, Monday through Thursday, and our Fridays, we have cheer practice. So our vacation has been cheer practice. But I took some days off last week and I took Monday and Tuesday off just to rest because I feel like I needed some me time. And Thursday and Friday, all I did was sleep. I get up, I take the girls where they needed to go. I came back home and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And I ended up right in the bed, knocked out. And I said, you know what? That's what it is. That's what Spirit wanted me to do. So I just chilled. And I'll do that again Monday and Tuesday. Yes, Christine, practice is no joke. So we can't even go on vacation because of cheer practice. Yeah.
It's a dedication. It really is. But there's the memories and the bonding and the experience and growth that that one experiences while doing that is just it. It'll serve them for through their lifetime.
Yes, yes. Hi.
Artist Liz is here. Carolyn Cooper is here. Jolie James, Nancy Riker. So nice to see everybody. Thank you guys for coming. So we're going to be doing messages for your loved ones. Please provide the name and relation, spirit guide, and angel questions, and general questions, or if you have something specific, just let us know. If you want to know what's coming up for August, sort of, just say in my love life, or about my job, or about give us like, or about my spiritual growth. Just give us like a general, if you just say August, it's not really, um,
There's so much that's going on, right? Yeah. If you have an item in specific that you want to narrow it down to, that would be great.
yeah, yeah. And you can give us specific questions and mysteries. If you have a mystery, we can try and figure it out for you. So many of you have been playing that. So much fun. And there's one other one. Oh, energy readings. If you would like us to tap into your energy and read your energy, or tell you a little bit more about like your soul's vibration, that's always fun to do. And yeah, and pets. And so we're just doing the whole gamut, but I just put up that little banner there. Dawn Turner, aw, and Janice Powell is here. So
Hi.
nice to see you. Um, and Evelyn, are you going to stay here, hon? Just be here because I think Evelyn, I called you the last couple of Sundays, and you had to leave. But so Evelyn, I'm going to do Evelyn first, and then I'll pop on everybody else. All right. Evelyn, I hope you're doing well. And she said, I recently applied for a car loan and got rejected. I reapplied for the car loan for a lower price. Will
Mhm.
I get this loan? Should I look for a new car or used?
Mm. What do you prefer, Evelyn? You know, pick one. New, excuse me. God gosh. Um, new, newly used or used. You have options. Pick one. But once you settle on that one that you want, I feel then the energy will be able to come in and work with you. You mentioned that you got denied for the first loan, right? So when I read that, I heard spirits say, speak to someone at the institution to understand why. because there's always a why. And this could also be they're tapping into my loan because I was a lender. Um, find out why. Don't just take, oh, we denied your loan and keep it pushing. Why was I denied? And they'll explain to you to help educate you on what you can do to correct the issue. Maybe it's not a brand new, maybe it's the amount, what is within your budget right now is kind of like that's the first thing I got on the spirit side. So you have a couple of questions in here. Should you reapply for a lower price? Will I get this loan or should I look for a newer used car? Jean, you and I was speaking earlier and I had no throat issues. And now all of a sudden my throat is just so speak up. And the speaking up is, you said you reapplied, you got denied and you reapplied for a lower price, right? But I think what they want me to tell you is that in a lot of cases, as a lender, when you apply for a loan, if it's denied, sometimes they counter offer. And the counter offer could be a lesser amount, a shorter term. They will never tell you new or used car, just a shorter amount. So speak to someone at the institution. If you're dealing with a car dealer, go to your financial institution and work with them to see what they say. And then go from there, but speak up. Don't just sit back and say, okay, they denied me for this. What is the reason? Is it a co-borrower? Is it my debt to ratio? Is it the amount? What is it? And that's what I have for you. Okay, go ahead, Jean.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that, Akela. I think I agree with all of that. And as much as try different lenders, go to a credit union. There's some lenders are a little bit more lenient or open or not as restrictive. And you can also get like a line of credit if you can't do a loan, which is a little bit different. But it's, and I don't know if it's tied to the car. So if you know what the car is and then you would go for the loan, then they would have that collateral to give you the loan against. But if you don't have or if you can't tell them this is the car I'm going to buy, um, and I think, with your newer used, I think that always a used car is much more economical and a smarter purchase because as soon as you drive it off a lot, it drops like, $5,000. And I know one day very soon, Evelyn, you will have everything that you want. And I believe it or not, had a time and period in my life where I was having a lot of difficulty uh, trying to do that. I don't know how to say it without giving everything away. Um, so I bought a house, um, and it was a fixer upper.
Mhm.
And as soon as I bought my house, like the next like 30 days after I closed on the house, I lost my job. And I didn't know what to do. And everything just crashed down on me. It just totally flattened me out. I was eating like hot dogs and pasta every night. Like I just didn't know what to do. And I dug myself out. And I remember having to get a car because my car kept dying. I kept putting money into it. And I had to get a car. Um, and I didn't have any way to get a car, and I was already so far in debt from everything that I had to do, and I had to get like 4 jobs and stuff. But anyway, just so you know, I've been there and done that and changed it around. Find a friendlier um, and just because you don't have an account there, it doesn't mean anything. Try credit unions. Try like I don't know if AAA or one of those kind of outfits might be able to. I don't know if there's some sort of a lending service that can help you. I don't know if you know of any other ones, Akila.
I would no, I would definitely say a local credit union, one that doesn't have a lot of restrictions for you to join. They are focused on education. So if you do go, they will guide you through what you can do to increase. But real quick, Jean, if you don't mind, I shuffled this deck and two cards flew out the deck. That's what I was picking up. And one says soar, soar, fly high, spread your wings, right? And then the other one says survival. So what I'm getting from this with the soar is that in this situation, try to evaluate everything that you're going through, everything that you have. What is the best solution for you right now, right? And with the survival card, is that maybe you want a brand new car right now, but given whatever you have going on in your life, financially you may not able to get that brand new car. But the survival is there is a used car out there that is reliable, will get you to and from and last a period of time until you get to the place where you need to be or want to get that brand new car that your heart so desires. But work with a credit union if you can, is my suggestion, Evelyn. And ask questions. Ask, even if the person you're working with um, is not open to ask to speak to somebody else and let them help you get to the next step of where you need to be. Okay. Wishing you all the best on your car search, Evelyn.
Yeah, all the best. So next is Carol B. And after Carol B, I realized I didn't call who was next. Janice Powell is after Carol B. And thank you, everybody, for coming and good morning. Once we get into the readings, it's hard to do greetings. So she said, okay, good, Evelyn. She said, used it is. My brother told me the same thing yesterday. You're welcome, Evelyn.
Okay.
So Miss Carol B says, may I have a message from my spirit guides, please, and thank you. So, Carol B, what I feel like is you've been experiencing signs and synchronicities lately. You have always been interested in metaphysical and the spiritual realm, but it's been a little bit more academic and um, it's been a little more um, information. It's not been participating. And now you're interested in taking more of a participating role. And I see you maybe starting working with energy healing, whether that's Reiki or sound healing. There's something about sound, color, energy, and this is where you like to roll. It almost has like a scientific and a factual basis to it, but but it's also in the metaphysical and connecting to that spiritual realm. So that's what I feel like your guides want you to know. So let me know if that resonates. How about you, Miss Keela?
Okay, so I was guided to this healing the inner child deck, and then another deck of intuitive whispers, right? So, Carol, what your guides want you to do in healing your inner child, it says acceptance. And I am looking at this person here just floating on the water. And I love that. I love when I go to the pool. I love to just float and just let the wind blow me wherever it wants to blow me, except for the deep side, because then I panic. But I just accept. You lay there and then you hear the water rumbling in your ears and you just accept you accept every part of who you are. That's the message spirit wants you to know. But I want to, gosh, here comes that choking again. It says take a moment and be with your inner self. Notice the age, emotional state and appearance of your inner child. Offer them the reassurance of your loving presence and welcome any and all sensations, expansion, softness, constrictions, tingling, numbness, tensions. Just notice and breathe. So just allow yourself that moment to just be, whether you're in the pool, if you're sitting outside, just listening to the birds chirp by. Allow your inner child to step forward and accept whatever it is that inner child brings up. Allow yourself to accept no judgment, no regrets, no, I heard no, but I, no. And I'm getting chills. When we are children, okay, there is literally not, spirit just make me feel like there's nothing literal that we did that and that happened to us that we should blame on ourselves, right? Because we're a child. When you're that young, you can't really protect yourself. You know, if you're walking down the street and a dog comes running out of nowhere, panic sets in. First thing is flight or fight. And in my mind, I'm seeing flight. So you take off running, and what happens? The dog takes off behind you. You may fall, get bruised. Okay, you were a child. You couldn't prevent that from happening. So accept whatever that inner child being brings up in you. Allow yourself to release it, whether it's laughing at you falling down because the dog chased you, or crying, releasing the hurt that someone may have caused you to feel. Accept every part of it, because it only makes us better. It makes us stronger. Okay, that's the message I have for you, Carol B. Acceptance. Thanks, Jean.
Wow, that was really a lot of passion there. It was very important information. And Carol said she got chills, and she said she loved listening to the waves. And she also said she was looking at Reno.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
No, I got chills.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Just go lay in the water and just allow yourself to accept every part of you, you know?
Oh, she's been crying for 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wish you the best, Carol.
Yeah. The evolving brings this up because now we have the ability to process it and let it go, but it needs to come up and be felt before we can actually release it for finally. You know, that's what these energies are supporting. So Janice Powell is next, and after Janice is Miss Sherlock.
Okay. Sure.
So Janice says, hello, do you have a message from my sister Vicky Hagen for me or her daughter Allie Hagen?
Okay.
I didn't even I just clicked on it the first time I'm reading. Message from Sister Vicky for Janice. Takes a second to change gears. She wants you to know she's always with you, Janice, and Allie. She's saying that she is available and close by. She wants you to know that she is. She's. I hesitate to say feeling better because it's not like that, but things are. She doesn't feel any of the restrictions or ailments or things. Things that were challenging for her in this world. She's free from all of this, and she is sort of shining bright and lifted up. She has those denser energies are no longer around her. I do feel as though she had some struggles towards the end of her life, but on and off and on and off. And it's like this is another case. She your sister, Vicky, is an angel herself and was an angel here on earth and did so much for so many people. And it's almost like it's not fair for her to be gone because she was one of the good ones. But they say like the good die young. Um, but I do feel as though she did so much for other people and was very, very, she had this magical way of letting, you know, uh, allowing other people to feel good about themselves when they were in her presence. I do feel as though she had like a magical quality and that she's not that she would ever be replaceable, but she's irreplaceable. That there's definitely a void where her light and her energy used to be. She says she understands this and she says to be kind to yourselves and to focus on what is left. Her physical essence is not there anymore, but her love and her energy still is. And the bond and the tie that you guys have together is still ongoing. And she just wants you. I do feel I almost feel like everybody's still walking around stunned, saying, I just can't believe she's gone. And she's saying that allow yourself time to grieve. And even when you feel like you're grieving and you're feeling better, and then something else like an anniversary or a memory will come up and you'll start that grieving process all over again. But she says that she's going to be there and supporting you through it. How about you, Miss Akela?
Okay. So when I read the question, I felt, first of all, I heard laughter. I heard a child like laughing. And it's what I get is that they seem to be together. But I have a question. Was Ali very young? Because one of the two things,
Allie's the daughter and Vicky is the sister.
yeah, Ali. Mm-hmm.
Was Allie young when Vicky passed? I see.
Yeah. I felt like if you, because interesting, we get chills, right? And sometimes you get full body chills and it's like real strong, or it may be a light. But this chill, oh, Ali, or her daughter, Ali. Okay, I read that. I read that totally wrong. Let's see. Ali is her daughter. I felt like, I felt like a brush on my right arm. And I was like, oh, at first I thought it was a chill, but I was like, it was just in one particular spot. So that tells me that either she brushes against you. She was 25. Okay. She brushes against you or Ali. I'm not sure who. We're reading for you, so it's probably you. So that's her way of letting her know that you are there. I also saw her whispering, like when you're kids and you and your siblings will tell each other secrets. And let's say there's 3 or 4 of you and you want to taunt the other sibling and you go to one, you're like, I see her doing that. So I don't know if that's something that you all did or if that's her way of letting me know that she whispers in one of your ears. So that's what I got. And I apologize. I kind of read this wrong because I also thought Ali was on the other side. So sorry about that. But the card I got was she wants you to let go of control. Okay. And as I look at this card now, I get a feeling of like if you felt like there could have been something that you could have done, there's something differently if you were there, if you had listened, if you had, the ifs, right? And she wants you to let go of that because like this dove, she's free. And she wants you to not be burdened by all those emotions of what we could have, what we should have. Just let go of it and Let me see. 1 second. Yeah, she just wants you to let go of that control. And it may not be, you may not feel like if you're in trying to control the situation, but because of your relationship with her and whatever occurred in her passing, you are trying to control what the family could have done differently. So she just wants you to let go of that. Know that she's there with you. She is whispering in your ears and possibly her daughter's ears as well. And when you feel that brush against your arm, just know that that's her letting her know that she is there with you. And she's always there with you. Okay. But I think you sense her. Maybe you're trying to get to be able to see her more is what I'm feeling. But slow release, and maybe you'll see. Oh, one other sign, Janice, I'm sorry. Rose petals. I forgot that. Are you seeing rose petals? Because I got that. Everywhere you turn around, there may be a rose petal somewhere. That's the other thing that she might be leaving for you, which is interesting, because you have to break the petals off the rose. And how frequently are you going to really see that? But there's something with rose petals that she's doing for you. And that's what I have, Janice. And I hope it made sense. Okay. And that's it, Jean.
Yeah, that was beautiful, beautiful, Akela. She said, I haven't, but I'll look for them.
Okay.
Yep. That's so cool. Yeah, Miss Sherlock, then Noor, then Nancy Riker. So if you guys would just say hello. Miss Sherlock is next here, and then Noor, and then Nancy Riker. So Miss Sherlock wants to know, will her apartment complex be sold this year? The current owners are adding on crazy fees on everything. Yeah, I think there was like a bill that expired that prevented, fees and stuff on
Wow.
consumers. There was some sort of a temporary kind of bill. Let me just use my pendulum.
Yeah,
So for Miss Sherlock, is her apartment complex going to be sold in the next 5 years? I don't see it being sold in the next 5 years. Will there ever be an offer for somebody to purchase? I feel like they may be like up for sale, but I don't think the sale is going to go through in another 5 years. I think they're like prepping themselves and making themselves look good and sort of putting out feelers, but I don't see that they're going to have a buyer. These commercial or real estate type of sales can take years. I don't see it being sold in the next 5. What about you, Miss Keela B? What'd you get?
I got a no immediately. And in addition to the no, I felt a sticky, like there is somebody in there who, even though they may be acting like they want to sell it, the profits, the that they can make from it, they really don't want to. So they act like they want to, but they really don't want to, because it was very sticky and kind of feeling that I got. But what I pulled a card and I got, let this be your sign. So I don't know, what I get from that is that spirit way of telling you it's time to maybe, say, okay, enough is enough. How much more can they increase? Nothing's happening, and they keep probably lifting the prices. Maybe it's time to take, like the light, right? It's time to take the step into looking for something else, somewhere else that may be, better suited for you. And I'm feeling like not just financially, but emotionally and there's something else out there for you, Miss Sherlock. So that's what I have for you. I got a no to them selling. It's not going to be sold this year.
Yeah.
What?
And it Go ahead. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
move that
this
she
is-
just saw.
yeah, yeah. Let this be your sign. Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Janice. It was very sweet of you, very generous. Thank you for your donation. Okay, Noor is next. After that is Nancy Riker, and they're both here. Thank you for saying hello. And Noor said, "I would like to ask about my connection with Faisal. Do you see me in a romantic relationship with him?" I'm going to use my pendulum. Um, is it in Noor's future to have a romantic relationship with Faisal? I'm getting that it's going to happen. Will this relationship between Noor and Faisal occur before the end of 2025? No, I see it. There's something else that has to end before that begins. Is this relationship between Noor and Faisal? Will this relationship begin before June 1st of 2026? Yes. Will this relationship begin before April 1st of 2026? Will this relationship begin before May 1st of 2026? Sort of next spring is what I see. I don't know. I just feel like something has to end before this can begin. What about you, Miss
Yeah.
Akela?
So I got in. There's work to be done, right? Either on both parties' side, maybe on one person's side. And the work that I feel is on yourself, whether that's on you or face on. Maybe it's both parties, because we all always have something to work that we need to work on, right? We all have trauma that we need to heal from, whether from childhood, whether from current situations. We have things that we need to work on. So focus on you. The card that I get, which was interesting, it says, the precious present moment. Try saying that fast. The precious present moment. And what I get from this card, as you can see, there's a person just sitting there enjoying nature, connecting with themselves, focusing on themselves, the present moment, the now, right? We no longer can we cry about the past. We can't foresee the future because things change, but what we have is the right now. So focus on that, and that's focusing on you. And once the world connects and the energy connects, if it's meant to be, you all will be guided together. So just work on you is what I'll say, Noor, and I hope that helps.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Um, I I am pleasantly surprised, and I am so happy for you, Noor. And I think that that may be like your intuition, like you've always felt. I think that you have a relationship, you know each other, and you have these feelings, and you're like, is this in my mind or is this real? So I think that you have that premonition. Maybe this other person is not aware of it yet, but that's so cool. I love that. And because sometimes our own stuff is the hardest thing for us to figure out. Like, am I just making this up or is it real?
Yeah. And ask yourself when you meditate, ask yourself, because I kind of reconnected with a friend from high school. And interestingly, when I came back to the States, I guess I was thinking about, the person or whatever. And I heard in my head, don't waste my, well, this is not really how it was said, but literally it was, don't waste my time. It's not going anywhere, is what I heard. That will not go anywhere. And I was like shocked. I was like, what? I was like, it won't. And I just let it go. If it's meant to be, it'll be. But ask your higher self for guidance on this. Yeah.
Yep. Nora
Okay.
says, thank you so much. I'm working on myself, and I agree. I still need to work on me. Hi, Polly. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. All right. And Wanda Grant, if you're still here, please say hello. So next is Nancy Riker, and after Nancy is Wanda, as long as she
Okay.
responds and says hello. You're welcome, Nor. Nancy Riker, can I hear from my spirit about the spiritual path? Why not any contact lately from my spirit guides? That is a popular question. This
Mhm.
is a learning moment.
I got a card last week Thursday, and the card for it was a collective reading. Just a little recap, and it said slow down, right? And I was like, okay, slow down, because I had the same question, Nancy, just so you know. And when I got the slow down card for the group, I said, okay, maybe Spirit is just telling us with everything that's going on in the world today, we need to take a step back, go within, and just relax, right? Because we're always moving, 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 moving. Interestingly, I get cards. I signed up for, I think it's Colette Baron Reed, and she does a card of the week or whatever. And her message was slow down. And I was like, what if this isn't it? So just know that if you're not hearing from them, that could be what it is. They want you to relax a little bit. There's too much going on in the world today. And our minds are all over the place. But I'll see what else I get for you, Nancy.
So, um, Nancy, I have to tell you that for me personally, not for you, but for me personally, things have slowed down. Like I was seeing signs and synchronicities and getting hits and hearing messages and seeing pets, and it was sort of like a lot, and it was enchanting. It was making me giggle, and I knew that my spirit guides were around me, and sort of, but and now it does seem like things have really quieted down. I'm not feeling, oh, I was feeling so inspired. I could not do more. I felt like I didn't have enough time to do all the things I was inspired to do. And now the inspiration is like, it's like, where'd everybody go? And it's not easy to get used to that, but um, it's important to act on the opportunity when it arises, and when there is no inspiration or interaction, that there's time to sort of integrate and go back and look at what it was that you experienced and appreciate, and sort of review and appreciate. Not that I'm not saying that you don't, but it's almost like using that time to fully immerse yourself into whatever it is. Because when we go by like this and we just say, okay, next thing, next thing, next thing, you know, it's okay to be in the flow, but it's important to reflect and to integrate and to like sort of absorb, like sort of allow it to become part of your being and part of your philosophy and part of your energy. So and they say that, I don't know if you guys saw how many classes I did in the spring. I was like, really, you couldn't stop me. I was like so very charged up, but right now I'm just not getting that inspiration. And I know it's my guides, and they do ebb and flow for us, and they do allow us some time in between this quickening that we feel, or this spurt of energy or integration that they have. It also has a little bit to do with our astrological signs. I know that there are 3 or 4 planets in retrograde right now, and it's not really the best time for us to be moving forward or to be connecting or or creating right now. And when planets go in retrograde, that's a time for us to do exactly what I said: rest, relax, review, and sort of integrate what it was that came through all that really rushing energy, so that we will get the next influx. It's not you and it's not them. It's just a cycle. It's an ebb and a flow. Um, so that's what I have to say. How about you, Miss Akela?
Interesting. I got a card for Nancy, and it says, as you said, you talked about the planets, you talked about the ebb and flow, right? And it says, split your focus, right? Sometimes we focus, and the card basically talks about, it's a 70-30 split. And it says 70% of your focus should remain outward, observing the external world, and 30% should be inward, checking on how you feel. So I feel, in looking at this card, I feel like this is spirit way of telling us to just take time for us. Stop being so busy with everything outwardly and internally that they start to collide, right? And then you feel overworked, burnt out, you're not getting enough rest. Stop, take this time, use this time that they're giving you to basically regroup, recuperate, recharge, regenerate, all the rewords we can take of. Now is the time to split the focus and focus on you. Focus on your desires, what you want to manifest. And this is a lesson for me too. What you want to manifest for you, focus on that. Spirit knows when it's time for you to get back on track with them, and they'll come back in. But right now, I feel like they're giving us, I know myself, and probably you, time to just... So that's what I have for you, Nancy, and I hope it helps.
Beautiful, Akela. Thank you so much. And thank you, Nancy Riker. She said, is it going to be an upgrade? You could be you're adjusting to new frequencies. That could be. If that's what you feel and that's what your intuition is telling you, you can trust that and get your pendulum out. Yep. You're welcome, Nancy. You're welcome. So after Nancy is Wanda, and after Wanda, is Polly. So Miss Wanda, I have to say, I don't have a clear understanding because I would need to see the check. A lot of times there are I wouldn't say scams, but sometimes scams that say if you deposit this check, you agree to the terms of the loan and you have to read the fine print. And typically it's a very high interest rate. So I would maybe consult with a lawyer or consult with a financial advisor and let them know what happened. And your bank should have cautioned you. But yeah, those things, they send them out to everybody. And I would hate for you to be, engaged and have them come back on the loan. I don't know what it looks like, but anything we get in the mail, if it sounds too good to be true, it typically is. And you're wondering, is it going to show up? I hope and pray that it doesn't. I hope and pray that your bank flags it and says, we find this fraudulent check here. I would call the bank. I don't know. I haven't seen the check, but anything that comes in the mail that is free money, it's usually not good. What say you, Miss Loan Officer?
Listen, I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh man, Spirit is testing my banking experience. Okay, Wanda, word of advice. Yes, we get a lot of those. Some are legitimate, some are not. Even if the bank releases the money, do not touch it. I will give it a couple of weeks out, because sometimes, even though it might be released on your banking side, it could take a while before the other institution comes back and says, hey, this check may not have been a legitimate check. Okay, so don't touch it. Even if you move it out, let's say it's in your checking account. When it's released, you move it out your checking account, you put it in your savings account. Because if you touch that money, and worst case scenario, it is not legitimate, or you realize that the interest is astronomical or some crazy thing. If it's fraud, the bank will then put a hold on your whatever else you have in there until you pay them back that money. So I tell everyone, leave it in there for a few just to make sure. If it goes longer, great. Jean gave great advice. Make sure if it's a loan, one, go to the company's website, double check. Is this company legitimate? See what the reviews are before you actually spend the money. Unless if it's a reputable company like Discover, because if you have Discover, they send all those loan checks periodically, and Discover is pretty big. But if it's a no-name company or a company that you've never heard of, um, do your due diligence. I'm not feeling yay or nay, good or bad on it, but I would say just go back, reread the fine print, as Jean suggested. Oh wow, look at the card. I shuffled the deck for you, and before Jean asked me what I got, I was actually going to pull from the bottom because Spirit told me go to the bottom, and the card says Wisdom of the Solar Plexus. To me, this is telling you, if you are asking us this question here, your gut, your intuition has you questioning. So if you are already trust your solar plexus, and if you are already questioning, will I see the money in my account this week? Take all the necessary precautions that I have given to you, Jean has given to you as well regarding that money, because I would hate for you to come back and say, it things went left with it. We're hoping for the best, but just make sure you reread the fine print. And if it's something as astronomical as Mangled Unicorn said, it's like 27% interest rate, you can then take that money and send and pay off that loan, because 27% interest rate or higher, that's not of your highest good. Just like we gave to the other person, if you have a credit union, please seek out your credit unions. You'll get a lower interest rate. And I'm not advertising for any credit unions, but you'll get a better interest rate. You'll get more education, because not only would they help you with the loan, but you'll get somebody who can educate you on your financial situation to get you to the place you need to be. Okay? I hope that helps, Wanda.
Yeah, and especially the way you said, it didn't seem like you were expecting a check in the mail and that you were told to deposit the check. Why were you told to deposit the check? Who would tell you to do that if you weren't expecting it? And it's just be really, really careful. We don't see it. We don't know what's going on. We don't have more information. But just from the information that you're telling us, and from the experience of a lot of people, like they all know it could be up to 27% interest. So just really be careful. And if it sounds to be good, to be too good to be true, it typically is. But that's a good question. So thank you very much, Miss Wanda Grant. All the best to you, and I hope everything turns out great in your situation. You're welcome. Okay, so after Wanda is Polly, and I'm going to go one at a time because I think we might have time for one more after that.
Okay.
So, messages from spirit guides for Polly.
Ooh. Polly, did you do something recently? Because I heard and I felt like one of your guys saying thank you. I don't know what it is. Oh wow. And here Wanda pops up with thank you in caps, right? But I literally heard the word thank you, and I saw as if somebody was saying, like thanking you for whatever it is you did. Maybe you listened, maybe you followed their guidance recently. I don't know, only you will know. But let's see what else I get. Wow. You can go ahead, Jean, if you have anything.
I was just, yeah, I'm tuning in now.
Okay.
So, Polly, I feel as though I'm just tuning into your energy, and I feel as though you have lost your power somewhere, which is different, but it's okay. I feel like you are are sort of, I don't want to say resisting, but you're fighting against something, or you're tired of fighting against something, or you feel like the chips are stacked against you. I feel as though you're feeling a little overwhelmed and almost powerless in one way or another, whether it's in your job or, spiritually, or, I don't know what area this is, but I do feel you feeling defeated and overwhelmed. And they want you to know that this will pass. This is not the way it is. And try not to believe when you have fear about something. Fear is just there to, how do I say this? It's only there because that's the only um, um, That's the only tool that the opposition has in order to influence you. And try not to believe the fear, even though you're feeling it. It's a different kind of a fear. It's more of a psychological kind of fear. It's like, if you're worried about something and you feel beaten down, or you feel overwhelmed, or you feel like something is stacked against you, know that you are in control, you are in power, and you can change your circumstances. You have the power to do that. And that fear does not play a role, other than this is the mechanism that they're trying, not they, but that is being utilized in order to sort of make a little bit of a challenge for you. And this is a challenge for you to stand in your power and say, this is not going to uh, take me. This is not going to, flatten me. I'm stronger than this. I know that I can persevere and to push forward. And I know that this isn't always the situation, that everything does change. Try and look for the hope, look for the change, look for um, the release, because, and also this has to do with your astrological pressures on you as well, that give yourself the benefit of the doubt. We're going into this Lion's Gate, which is the 8/8 portal, August 8th, and any 4 or 5 days before and 4 or 5 days after, it's a little bit more intense for some of us than others. And yet with and then this changes and this moves. So I feel like you may be feeling the pressure of going into this, but just allow for that time. Allow for you to sit with it. Allow for you to know that things will change. It will not be like this all the time. So that's what I have for you. Oh, thank you, Miss Carol B. That was really sweet of you.
Wow, Jean. Oh, sorry. My cards basically mimic what you just said. Okay. And Spirit actually led me to pull 3, and then they sent me to the bottom of the deck. So when I pull cards, Polly, the first card that came up for you says, stop pushing and striving. Okay. They want you to basically, at the bottom of the deck, slow down. And I think when you slow down, it allows you to God, what is the word? It allows you to review everything that is coming towards you, right? Because when you're moving fast, 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 you can't really see because it's coming in like daggers, and you're like, well, which one do I tackle? But Spirit wants you to slow down, stop pushing, ebb and flow. Let the universe work with you in whatever it is you're dealing with. You are fighting against, you're pushing against the current. I didn't mean to say fighting, I'm sorry. You're pushing against the current. Let it flow. And part of doing that is creating a spacious mind and soul. And what that says is to take time, whether it's in your morning or in your evening, just to be with you, peace and quiet. You find a spot, you lay down. And I know this is hard because I struggle with it as well. Just to clear your mind and just nothingness, a space of nothingness. And that allows spirit to come in. Because spirit says, with everything that you have going on, what is meant for you will find you. Okay. Because when you're going against the current, it won't find you because you're pushing against it. But once you allow that flow to come in and you slow down, create space, work with spirit, what is meant for you will come to you. And I hope that helps, Polly. And that's all I have, Jean. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And Polly says, got it. Thank you. Yeah. And you that was brilliant the way you worded that when we're resistant against and pushing against, when really it's when we relax, we can move with the flow and move through whatever that challenge is a little. And we're not saying don't stick up for yourself. We're not saying don't fight back. We're saying it's a resistance about something that's like in an energetic field. And when you relax and sort of um, move into that flow, it helps to relieve and lessen the struggle, you know? And
It's a
yeah,
place of surrender. You're surrendering to spirit. You know, you're telling, when you do that, you're allowing spirit to come in and work with you, you know, because we can't do it all on our own. No matter how hard we try, we can't.
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to describe because we don't people take it literally. We're saying energetically, you know. This is it's important to have that flexibility. And I love the when you say lay down on your bed and just have that nothingness,
Yeah.
that really silence, that not letting go of everything and just sort of being. And it's being in that present moment, and that's really very magical. And it releases the anxiety of the past or the worry of I don't know, the past and the future, whether it's worry or anxiety. Um, but all the best to you, Miss Polly. I hope that was helpful. Um, and I think, do you have time for one more, Akela?
I'm good. I'm good on time.
How about is Miss Unicorn? Are you still here to say hello? And thanks again, Carol, for your generosity, your donations. That's so sweet of you. Is Miss Unicorn still here? I don't know if I can see when the last comment was. I don't want to say more than one name because I can't promise. I did that the other day and we had two people.
That's okay. She's here. Angled Unicorn is here.
Okay.
And thank you, Bora Bora. I'm just going to see as for moderating.
Yes, all the moderators. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, Miss Unicorn said, can I get a spiritual growth general question for upcoming this month? Got my noise silencing earbuds this morning. Going to try meditating in silence. Cool. Cool.
You know what's funny? I was just about to recommend the noise silencing headphones for Polly. When you want to go into that nothingness space, you just put that on and it's nothing. So good for you, Mango Unicorn.
Mm-hmm. And it's easy to get distracted. And it's not like you have to, I don't know how to explain it. Um, you don't have to shut everything out, but it's nice when you get into that flow state, into that meditative state, that you're not disturbed because we have such short attention span and we are distracted easily because of all of the way life is one distraction after another, that it's when we want to really be in a space or in a point of focus for a while, we don't want to be pulled out of that. I used to have, I don't know what it was, but a bell will pull me right out of my
Mhm.
zone. If I'm in there and I'm meditating and I hear any kind of a bell, whether it's it was probably like the door alarm, or the something in the oven and it goes beep beep beep, or any kind of a beep or a bell pulls me right out. So no, that's really really good. And what you want to do is you want to allow your imagination to take you where it wants to go, even if it's that you're thinking about picking up the dry cleaning, and then you think about that dream you had last night, and then you start thinking about something else. Like, just keep moving forward, and letting and allowing those, like, I have to cook dinner, those kind of things that come up in your mind, allow them to come up and go by, and know that this is your quiet time, this is your quiet time. And it may not happen the very first time you do it, but if you do it, like, let's say once a week or a couple of times a week, and you do it at the same time every day, each time, your ego or analytical mind knows, oh, that she's going to be, meditating, or using her creative senses at this time. And it almost knows not to remind you of all of these things that you have constantly going. But I think that, Miss Unicorn, you have experience, and will be able to go into that flow state. Make sure you have writing utensil. It's almost like putting us into that, like, dream state, or that in between when we're dreaming and awake. And a lot of things start coming in, a lot of ideas or scenarios or visions, and they may not all make sense, but it's important to keep record of them. How about you, Miss Akela?
Yeah, you know what I just thought of, what just popped in my head as you were talking, Mangled Unicorn, is one of the things that I do, and I'm just going to say, because I think I know where Spirit is going, is when I want to open up that connection. So I'm right-handed. I will start to use my left hand and I'll write. And once I use my left hand and I start writing passages or a sentence, I start to open up that creative side, right? But I think what Spirit is, why they're bringing this into me, is I don't know if you automatic write. Do you do any automatic writing? Because I feel like that's going to come for you. That's why they were telling me about using my left hand to write. And if you are left-handed, use your non-dominant right hand and try and see. And I think that's going to be part of the next thing, or things that may come for you, automatic writing, if you don't do it already. Okay.
And that's just a key, or a technique that is used to keep your analytical mind busy, or your ego mind busy, while you're being in your creative state. And a lot of people just scribble, or I doodle. I doodle triangles out the wazoo, and then I realized that what I was doodling was a sacred geometry. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, that's why I'm doodling all kinds of triangles all over the place. But that's just what she said. No, I have not tried that yet, but it's in her tool bag. And tools, yeah, let's say. Hmm.
I'm going to pull a card for you real quick.
Yep. You may need to try a couple of different things and see what, what works for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And she said, I got a small singing bowl and working on your ritual. That's beautiful. I love singing bowls. Oh my gosh. And they really do help to center you
Yeah.
and tune that vibration. Oh, love it.
Okay. The card that I got for you based on your question, it says vulnerability is power. And then
Mm.
we have a lioness with her cub, right? And I guess when I look at this, we feel that we have to be so strong for everything, right? And there's this saying, don't forget to check on your strong friends, because strong friends need to be checked on, right? Because we're so strong for everyone, excuse me, that we end up curled up in a corner with all this bag of stuff that we have to address, not only for ourselves, but other people's stuff. allow yourself to be vulnerable because there is power within it. Let me see. The card here, it says, this card is here to tell you to reclaim the power of your vulnerability. Get to know how you truly feel without the fear of judgment. Be vulnerable with yourself, because with this awareness comes confidence. And as I'm reading that, I chuckle because I see myself standing in front of a mirror and I'm stark naked. And how many of us could stand in front of a mirror in our birthday suit and not really look at ourselves without being like, ugh, ugh. Or you're like this in the mirror, you're like, what happened there? But that's vulnerability, knowing that we are not the 15-year-old we were. Our body, our flaws are not what we were back then. We've grown, and with growth comes changes, right? So be vulnerable in looking at ourselves and accepting what we see in front of us. I'm laughing because I have to tell myself that, to accept what we see in front of us and know that it's okay. We are perfectly imperfect.
So much wisdom coming through, Miss Akela B. I'm so grateful to you for being here with me today. I love sharing this space. I love hearing the messages that come through you. Your clairaudience is just off the charts. I love when you say, "Oh, I heard something." You know that it's coming from spirit. She's got such a great ear and talent in every way. I love it. But thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for being here and for supporting one another and for playing along. I will have Akela B back again. We'll come back again and do another show. I will be on later this afternoon at 2:30 Eastern. I guess that's 11:30 Pacific. And with Valerie from Illumination Portal, we're going to be talking about Leo and just the energies around Leo. And I guess she's going to be talking about the Lionsgate. She's going to be talking about some of the retrogrades, some of the astrological alignments, and then we're going to be doing sun, moon, and rising readings. We love doing that. It's so much fun, and that's at 2:30 later today. So come on back and if you have time, and have some fun together with us. So thanks a lot, everybody. We will see you again next time. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.